Hey everyone, Scott here.
Wait, before you comment and tell me that I have a booger hanging off my nose, it's just sunscreen, I promise.
And this is my GoPro Hero 8 Black. And right off the bat, I just want to thank GoPro for fixing all of the problems of the GoPro Hero 7, which is the camera that I had before this. And that was the reason why I purchased this thing, because my GoPro Hero 7 was just not holding up all that well. This thing has been rock solid. I've had this thing for maybe almost 3 years now, and I use it for so many things. Car videos, bike videos, travel videos. It's a trooper. It just won't crash. It won't scuff. It won't scrape. It won't break. It's going strong. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to tell you all the pros and cons of this thing, what it was like to live with for almost 3 years now. And just real quick, this is not going to be a video going over every little feature. That's not what I do. This is just purely pros and cons of what it was like to live with. And I gotta say, it might actually be more pros than cons. The very first pro, as I've already said, is the fact that they fixed everything that was wrong with the GoPro Hero 7. This GoPro Hero 8 is almost as old as my GoPro Hero 7, and as you recall from that video, that thing was just torn up. It looked terrible after just maybe 1 year's worth of use. And I've got maybe 3 or 4 years of use on this one. I think 3 years. And it still looks brand new. This thing is held up so well, especially this power button here. As you recall from my GoPro Hero 7, the power button gave out, but here on the Hero 8 Black, it is still perfect. So thank you, GoPro, for addressing some of the issues of the case or the outer shell. Build quality issues have greatly improved. I like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The second major pro of the GoPro Hero 8 is the introduction of these little clips, of these attachment points here that fold down from the camera itself. If I can do it one-handed, yes.
Just a quick edit here because I didn't explain it very well as I was recording this video, but basically what these clips mean is that you're not going to need a case for your GoPro anymore if you want to attach it to anything else. It's all built in, which means less accessories.
Having it built right into the GoPro is so nice, and the way that it just goes away like that, and it's tight, it holds its place. This was awesome. Now, I will admit that I was skeptical at first. I thought these little things were going to be terrible in terms of build quality. I thought they were going to be floppy, and I thought they were going to break off really easy, but they never did. They are still very solid, very clicky. They hold in place even after 3 years of use. That is really awesome. A con would be, it's essentially a GoPro Hero 7. There is really not much that is different body-wise, other than these clips here at the bottom, these attachment points. It's all the same. Of course, because of these clips, the battery door and the SD card slot is under this door here on the side, whereas on the Hero 7, it was underneath. So that is a little bit different, but otherwise, if you hold this up to a GoPro Hero 7, it looks exactly the same. And that was kind of a bummer for me when I purchased this thing, because it was just a year after the GoPro Hero 7. It was obviously the next one, but it didn't really feel like a new, exciting camera because it looked the same. Of course, it says 8 Black on the side, so you know it's an 8. And I'm kind of glad they did that, because if they didn't, I'd have a hard time telling the difference between this one and my Hero 7 if it was just sitting in a drawer and this was face down. I wouldn't be able to tell. It's all the same. A con would be this front LCD screen, and as I turn it on, you can see there's not much information there. It's very low resolution. It's nice. It's nice to have. Just the fact that it exists is a pro, but its competitors at the time had a full color, full motion LCD display on the front, where GoPro was still lagging a little bit behind. I don't know, it would have been nice to have a full preview screen on the front, but not a big deal, not a big deal. A pro and a con would be the LCD screen on the back. It's a pro because still, after 3 years of use, this is going on maybe 4 years old now, it is still very responsive and there is no lag at all. It works very well, and I don't have to stab it with my finger to make it do anything because it's responsive. It knows when I'm interacting with it, and that's a good thing. It's a con because, as you can see, out here in the wilderness or in the daylight, it's kind of hard to see. It's not very bright. I've got this thing cranked up to almost full brightness. It is not full brightness, but it's just about there, and you can't really quite see what's going on. So another pro is overall size. A lot of the competitors to this camera were pretty chunky. They were a lot bigger than this. Well, maybe not a lot, but they were noticeably bigger. And I like the fact that the GoPro was still a very small camera. The chassis is very small, very compact. You can stuff this thing in a pocket or a bag or whatever, and it just doesn't get in the way. And as you can see me holding it in my hand like this, it's a small camera. It's really, really nice. And it is the reason why I still hold on to this thing today. It is 2025 when I'm recording this, and I'm not getting rid of this thing. I like the fact that it is very small and compact, so that's a good thing. Another pro is that image stabilization is so good on this thing. It is not as good as the current generation GoPros or even any of the competitors, but it is good enough. Like, it is rock steady. I can put it on the handlebars on my bike, and I can get silky smooth video, and I don't have to worry about my pictures being blurry. It's just really, really good. Another pro is the fact that, as you can see, the lens is perfect. After all these years, a lot of abuse, there is not a scratch on that lens. There is a little nick at the top there on the frame of the lens, but the lens itself is absolutely perfect, so that's a good thing, as is the back screen. Now, I've had this in my pocket with keys and coins and all kinds of metallic objects. Never scratched. I've never had this thing in a case, and yeah, that's good. A con would be audio quality. I never got good audio quality with this thing. I just couldn't do it. And it's one of the reasons why I purchased an external microphone for this eventually, because I just couldn't use the onboard audio. It just all GoPros suffer from this. They just can't figure out audio. And if you're going to use a GoPro, whether it's the Hero 8 or the 8 Black or anything else, or even up to the 11 that I have, audio just sucks. They really can't figure it out. I like the fact that it's black, very inconspicuous. That is a GoPro feature. All GoPros are very black and stealthy, which I really like. There are no flashy graphics, except for this 8 on the side. Big honking 8. But as I said, I like having that 8 there because I know how to tell what it is when it's sitting in my drawer next to my other GoPros. So it makes it very obvious. Thank you, GoPro. I appreciate that. A con might be how much it weighs. It's a chunky boy. I mean, overall size is really good. I like the compact frame of this thing, but it is really heavy. And if you've got it in a pocket or in a lightweight bag or something, you're gonna know it's there. It's gonna flop around and it's gonna drag you down a little bit. So just know that it's not a featherweight camera, especially if you've got a battery in it. And speaking of batteries, that is another con. Battery life is just, that's another thing GoPro has a really hard time figuring out. As I said in previous videos, I shoot mostly 4K, 60 frames per second, and I can't really, I can get at least 30 minutes, and it's fine, I guess. It's very rare that I shoot a video longer than that anyway. A con would be how hot this thing gets. When I shoot 4K 60, this thing gets hot. Especially if I'm outside on a hot sunny day, it gets warm really fast. And then you gotta be really careful about keeping this thing out of the sun. For example, I record car videos, and sometimes I put this in a mount in the windshield, and when the sun's coming through the windshield and beaming on this thing, it overheats very quickly. By very quickly, I mean probably within 20 to 30 minutes. It'll just get so hot, it'll shut off on its own. So you got to be really careful about that. And it's annoying because sometimes I've been doing, as I said, a car video, and I've just been yapping on and on and on and on and on. And then I realized, oh, the camera shut off 10 minutes ago, and I've got to reshoot everything. So that sucks. So overall, not a very exciting camera, but a very good camera. It is so much better than my Hero 7 Black was. This thing is much more stable. It doesn't crash anywhere near as much as my Hero 7 did. It crashes sometimes, which is a con, but it is extremely rare, so I can't really consider it a major con because it doesn't happen that often. But overall, it's been so good. It has held up so well. I like the fact that it still looks brand new despite such heavy use. I use it for everything: car videos, bike videos, travel videos, so much stuff. It has held up so well. I can't really hate on it that much. And I actually, before I recorded this video, I was thinking that I was worried that it was just going to be too many cons. But now that I'm talking about it, such a good camera, and I'm holding on to it. I'm not getting rid of this thing. If you have any questions or comments, do leave them down below. I will get to them when I can. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.